Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my show where I offer misguided advice about video games. Game of choice, Hearthstone. My name is Meerkat, and today is Friday, January 16th, 2015. I'm going to be talking about a Fatigue Mage deck here. Now, let's hop right in. The Fatigue Mage deck is a type of deck that relies heavily on you getting your opponent to draw as many cards as possible, and then killing off your opponent with the fatigue that they'll be taking because they will be out of cards. Anyways, it's a very tricky deck to play. Highly don't recommend you play this in the lower ranks. I recommend you wait till you get to the higher rank, but I myself am not a high rank right now, so I figured I'd go ahead and just showcase it anyways. Give you an opportunity to see what it's like to play it in the lower ranks. From what I've been told, it's a much better deck to play once you get into the higher ranks, because it is a very long, controlling type of deck. And it's tricky. It's really hard to play against aggro decks, which is a lot of what people play in the lower ranks. Anyways, hopping in, got 2 Frostbolts, 2 Doomsayers, and 2 Explosive Sheeps. These 6 cards right here are going to be absolutely vital, especially in these lower ranks against aggro type of decks. You want to mulligan for them as much as you can if you're playing against a Hunter, Mage, Warlock, and even a Paladin sometimes. It just depends on what type of heroes you're fighting in the current state of things. Sorry, I got distracted. I have a phone call right now. Anyways, moving on. 2 Duplicates, 2 Frost Novas, a nice block to keep you alive, a Big Game Hunter to remove big scary threats, 2 Coldlight Oracles, and 2 Deathlords. Now, these 2 cards right here with this particular deck are absolutely vital for you to play them correctly. These 2 cards are what makes this deck so difficult to play, because if you don't pull into them at the right time, it's hard to play around that and be able to still play them correctly. Deathlord, you want to play this as often as you can, as fast as you can. The goal is to get as many of your opponent's minions out of his deck and onto the board early on. That way, by the time you get to the end of the game, you don't want to use the Coldlight Oracles until you get to the end of the game. Once you get there, then you want to try to copy as many Coldlight Oracles as you can, particularly with either a Duplicate or an Echo of Medivh. And then once your opponents run out of cards, you throw down 1 or 2 Coldlight Oracles, and boom, next thing you know, he's taking 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, etc. points of damage, and those all stack up and equal a lot of damage. I've killed opponents with negative 25 points of damage, which is more than majority of one-turn kill type of decks. Moving on, 1 Illuminator, 2 Cone of Cold, 2 Echo of Medivhs, 2 Polymorphs, 2 Antique Healbots to kind of keep things progressing through the middle of the game, 2 Sludge Belchers as well to just try to avoid some big hits, a Blizzard, and 2 Flamestrikes, both for board removal. One recommendation I would have, if you wanted to swap something out, take out the Illuminator and maybe give yourself another Blizzard. I've been playing back and forth with that idea, but right now I just want to kind of see how things go with the Illuminator. So let's go ahead and hop into a deck here. So yeah, this is a really tough deck to play, I'm not going to lie. I have a difficult time pulling out a win with this, but it seems to be all the rage on Hearthstone.com right now. Day 9 showcased this deck yesterday, so I figured might as well go ahead and make a descriptive video, hopefully a short video, as short as I can get, 1 game. A lot of these games take a very long time because you are killing your opponent with fatigue. Okay, we're playing against a Warlock. So, when I play against a Warlock, I usually assume that he's going to be a Zoolock in this type of rank 12. I don't see as many Handlocks as I do with the Zoolocks. So because of that, I'm going to be playing with that mentality. So I'm going to go ahead and throw back the Duplicate and the Illuminator. I'm going to keep the Doomsayer and the Frostbolt. Those are great cards to have early on. Doomsayer shuts down aggressive decks early on. Frostbolt is just a great removal card. Big Game Hunter, not a card that I want right now, but it's okay. If he has a Handlock, then I'll be able to use that. But it looks like he might be a Handlock. It depends. I've seen Handlocks run Zombie Chows. So I'm going to go ahead and just end the turn and see what he does. If he taps into Life Tap, then I feel confident. Yep, okay. So we've got ourselves a Handlock here. Not too concerned at this point. I'm going to go ahead and just do as much damage into him as I can. I'm not too worried about this zombie chow for now. I'm gonna wait till he does at least 5 points of damage before I try to get rid of it. Okay, just continuing to do the hurt. Just get through this portion of the game. I might be dropping Twilight Drake at this point. There it goes. 4-9. No, 4-8. I'm sorry. Okay, so now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to coin into a Sludge Belcher. So, a couple of things to keep in mind when you're playing this type of deck. And this also applies to when you play controlling / taunt type of decks anyways, because this deck has two different kinds of taunts, but 4 cards total that are taunt, and then a lot of cards that are controlling: Cone of Cold, Blizzard, Frost Nova. So the thing that you want to keep in mind, you want to use taunt cards when your opponent has very little minions on the board. So really, if he's got like 3 or more minions, and you've got a controlling card like a Flamestrike or a board removal, you want to try to use the board removal instead of the taunt card. The reason for that is because, think about it. If he's got like 5 minions on the table, and you've got 1 taunt, and even if it has, a death rattle like Sludge Belcher where another one comes back in its place, you're only going to be dodging 2 swings by probably the lower versions of the minions he has on the board, only to get hit in the face with the higher minions later on. Okay, moving on here. Let me think. What do I want to do? So, you really got to think ahead in this game. When you're playing the Fatigue Mage, you really got to be thinking 3, 4, 5 turns down the line. You can't just be thinking about this turn and the next. I know he's got some giants, so I'm going to want to hold on to the Frost Nova and the Doomsayer for those. I'm going to go ahead and Cone of Cold here, because next turn I can ping into that guy, get 5 points of health back. And then I'll have another 4 mana crystals to do something like a Polymorph if I need it. Yep, okay. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to Polymorph and ping into the zombie chow next turn. Let me think. Actually, I lied. I'm going to Polymorph the giant. I'm going to attack into the watch guy, and then next turn I could do a Flamestrike. So he's going to be able to swing in for 7 points of damage this turn. It's going to hurt. If he silences that guy, it's going to be 11 points of damage. But that'll be okay, because he'll have an Iron Beak on the table. I'll wipe everything off the board. I've still got the Illuminator to heal myself up. I got 2 Antique Healbots. I've got an Ice Block, so I've got some answers for later on.
So many possibilities.
Yeah, these games take forever. Okay. Dr. Boom. Alright, so I think at this point... If only I had an extra mana crystal, I could duplicate Doomsayer and Frost Nova. Ugh. What to do here?
What to do? What to do?
I could big game hunter the Dr. Boom. Leaves me with another 4 mana crystals. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna big game hunter the Dr. Boom. I'm going to freeze the Drake. I'm gonna attack the zombie chow. It's kind of a weird play. I'm not sure if that's really the best way I could have handled that, but I wanted to get some health back. I was a little bit worried that he's going to bring me really close to Fatal, and I don't have an Ice Block up yet. Especially with those boom bots, they can do 1 to 4 damage. So if I would have done a Flamestrike, I could have taken a potential 8 damage plus another 7 from the Dr. Boom. Yeah, it just wouldn't look pretty. So unfortunately, and I didn't think about this, I would have wanted to copy the Big Game Hunter, but I'm hoping in return that I'll get to copy the Doomsayers and get to have 2 more of those as a result. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Now I could do a Coldlight Oracle and burn 2 of his cards. I'll put him up to 10, burn a card, end the turn, burn another card. But I don't know if I want to do that just yet. I think I'm more comfortable with the Doomsayer, because if he uses a removal card and heals himself with the Doomsayer, it's going to take up 6 mana crystals. He's only going to have 3 left, which means he only might use 1 more card. So, and I really want to hold on to this Coldlight Oracle until the end. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and... but that might be kind of a waste. Okay, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to Frost Nova, I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to use a Doomsayer. And I'm going to hope he doesn't silence the Doomsayer. I'm going to hope that he gets rid of it. I feel like these Doomsayers are going to be vital for me against this Handlock, because he's still got some big, scary minions in his hand. He's got another Mountain Giant. I'm sure he's got another Mountain Giant and 2 Molten Giants.
I wonder.
Now, if he doesn't do anything with this guy, just ends the turn, then I'm okay with that, because next turn I will Coldlight Oracle. He'll destroy the Coldlight Oracle and I'll get 2 back. I'll be okay with that too. Okay, he silences it. Not too worried about that move. Okay. Yep, time to bring out the Coldlight Oracle. So I'm going to burn one of his cards. This is actually perfect. Now I'm going to drop the Deathlord. So I am totally good with him destroying this guy or this guy. Either one of these two, at this point now, is actually better than getting a copy of those. Because now he's going to be burning another card. I could get greedy, but I'm not going to. I could drop this down right now, but I really want to save it for the time being. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and... Well, should I play the Illuminator? No, I don't want him to copy that just yet. I'm not too worried about my health at this point. It's really tempting to use a Frost Nova here, but I want to save that for when he has Giants on the table. So let's just play it safe. Let's go ahead and get rid of his Twilight Drake, end the turn. There goes his Big Game Hunter. Not like that card would have been very beneficial against my deck anyways. I don't have very big scary... Okay, perfect. Awesome. This is not a big deal. I would have preferred the Deathlord, but Coldlight Oracles will be better later on in the game. So there goes the Siphon Soul. Awesome. Very cool. If he drops one more minion, I'd feel very safe in a Flamestrike. Although I don't think he could drop another Ironbeak Owl and silence somebody. We'll see what happens here. So I got 3 Coldlight Oracles in my hand, plus 2 Echo of Medivhs. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to drop down. Plus I've still got the Doomsayer, so I could Echo Medivh that guy. Whew. Okay, let me think. So if I drop a Coldlight Oracle, Frost Nova, and Echo of Medivh, what does that put me? I'm at 3, 6, 7, 8. Drop that guy, brings me down to 7. Go back up to 9, 8, 9. Frost Nova down to 8. Echo of Medivh, back up to 10. So I'll burn a card. But I think it's worth it. Yep, let's go ahead and do it. So he'll burn one more card. Oh, actually. Maybe I should do duplicate?
What to do?
No, let's just stick to the original plan. Okay. Bye-bye, Molten Giant. Adios, sayonara. Good to know ya. Good to see ya. Let's see, 3, 6, 9. Oh, I miscounted. Okay, cool. I'm not going to burn a card. Very cool. So now I've still got a Cone of Cold, and I could do the Cone of Cold on a Giant. Oh, beautiful. Oh, this is going to work out perfect. Okay, cool. So I can attack into that guy with the with a Fire Blast, Flamestrike, remove everything off the table. But okay, let's see. Let me think here. I think that's what I want to do. Flamestrike. Okay. Now he could silence that guy and attack into me for 4 points of damage, but I don't think that's going to be a good move for him. If he had 2 power overwhelmings, which I don't think he would have that, he could kill me. But I feel pretty confident that's not what he has. What I could do next turn, though, considering that he's down to 6 cards already, beautiful, perfect. Something I forgot to mention, if your opponent has card draw of some kind, like an Acolyte of Pain or whatever, exploit it as much as you can. You want, there he goes, silence. You want to do you want to let them draw as much as their heart desires until they catch on to the fact that you're doing that on purpose. Deathlord at this point would still be beneficial. So yeah, here we go. I'm going to do Deathlord, I'm going to do Duplicate, and I'm going to do an Illuminator. Now, unfortunately, I don't have enough mana to pop this guy off, but that's okay, because I feel comfortable with having a Duplicate up and him attacking into this guy. Considering the fact that he's already used 2 Ironbeak Owls, he's not going to be able to silence it again. So there it goes, Siphon Soul. So I'm going to get 2 more right back into my hand. Perfect! The cool thing about Deathlord, even though this card gives them an opponent onto the battlefield, if it's an opponent that has Battlecry, for example, an Antique Healbot, this Antique Healbot is weak, really, really weak, when you don't get the Battlecry effect. So you can see it's a 3/3 for 5. So, I mean, granted, it would do 8, it would heal for 8 points, but considering the fact that he did not get to utilize that, works for me. Okay, let's pick this guy off. Okay. So what he could do is he could drop down a giant if he has a mountain giant. Can't do a molten giant. If he has a mountain giant and then destroys it and gets rid of everything on the board, I would be okay with that, because then that would pull the last minion or 2 that he has in his deck. Looks like that's not what he's going to do, though. Okay. What to do here? Okay. We're getting close to the nitty-gritty of the deck. He's almost down to fatigue. He's got 1 card left. I've got, look at this, 3 Coldlight Oracles in my hand, plus I've got another Echo of Medivh. This is going to work out really, really well. He's most likely going to use his... okay, there goes the Shadow Flame. Does he have any minion left in his deck? No, he does not. So whatever this is, it's a spell. I'm confused by this. I don't know what that's all about. I'm going to go ahead and heal myself up. I'm going to go into Frostbolt it. I feel okay doing that. He's most likely going to do a Lord Jaraxxus once he gets close to 15. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. He's already used both Siphon Souls, so I've got another Doomsayer that I feel confident he won't be able to do anything about, because both his Ironbeak Owls have been used, both his Siphon Souls have been used, so if he drops down some big scary guys, I could drop down a Doomsayer and freeze him up with the Cone of Cold. And there goes the Hellfire. There goes the Dark Bomb. Okay. Let me think about this. He's already taken 1... Has he taken a point of fatigue damage? Not yet, right? So if I dropped all 3 of these guys right now, I would draw into the rest of my deck, but would it kill him? 1, 2, that's 3 points of damage, and then 3, 4, it's 7, plus 3 is 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 11, so it's 11 points. 3, 4 is 7, so that's, what, 11 plus 7 is 18, 19, 20, 21. Yes, and then he would do... Okay, here we go. That's game. Here it is! The Point of Fatigue deck, and then just end the turn, and he's gonna be dead. He's not gonna get a chance to do Lord Jaraxxus. 1, 2. Then I'm gonna draw, and then 3 and 4. Yeah! Oh no, I'm out of cards! Oh no, he burned Doomsayer! Whatever shall I do? See you later! Look at that. Tell me that was not fun. Okay. So, very long game, very drawn out, but totally rewarding if you can pull it off correctly. Anyways, I'm not going to play another match. I'm just going to back out of here, maybe talk about a couple of more things for this particular deck. But that was pretty fun. So Fatigue Mage, there you go. Perfect example of why you want to hold on to the Coldlight Oracles and try to get as many of them as you can for the end of the game. There was a couple of times there where I could have had the opportunity to drop down the Illuminator with my duplicate, but I was really worried that he would just destroy the Illuminator, and then I would get 2 back, which would just kind of prolong the healing, and then eventually I would lose all the Illuminators, and then I'd lose my health, and then I wouldn't have any Coldlight Oracles anyways. So that's why I said it's really hard to play this deck. You really have to think further down the line. You really have to prepare for when you get to the end part of the game, like I did there with the Coldlight Oracles. Okay, so yeah, I don't think there's really much more to talk about. I don't want to drag out this video for too long. So there you go, Fatigue Mage. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out Day 9's channel. He posted a video, a couple of videos yesterday, showcasing this deck. It's really fun, but it's really tricky. Don't recommend playing it in the lower ranks, but give it a shot if you just want to see how it works, and then maybe when you get to a higher rank, or if you are a higher rank, go ahead and give this deck a try. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed my show, and until next time, my name is Meerkat.